Join me for an early start today, and we're at the Shrewsbury Flower Show, and I'm in the Dingle at the moment, and I'll just spin you around, just have a look at this marvellous floral display. These gardeners have really pulled the rabbits out the hat with this, considering the weather how it's been.
Needs no introduction. He's a former Blue Peter gardener of Westminster, I think.
Yeah, we're head gardener there, yep.
And he's done a number of TV channels, but recently he's been guiding his energy into gardening with children. What are you up to now, Chris?
Well, quite a bit, you know. I work obviously with Garden Organic. There's big sort of people I work alongside. I'm also doing stuff for Food Grown School London. I'm in schools a lot. You really like to hear. And the whole schools thing seems to grow and grow and grow. To use a pun, it's now we're trying to get it into the curriculum. So hopefully gardening and children will be part of their education and stuff. And yeah, it's good. I've been planting woodlands with octopus energy as well.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
And now you're finding the kids picking this stuff up, but are they interested, or is it a difficult job?
No, I don't think so. I think, you know what, I'll be really honest with you, I think For thousands of years we were gardeners and farmers, and now we go into shops. So if you work with a 10-year-old, that sort of history, that instinct is very much in their blood. And no kid has ever said to me, I don't want to do this. So.
And with this unusual weather we've had, extreme heat, how you've been coping, garden?
My allotment doesn't look too good, I'll tell you that. It looks a bit fried. You just got to take the bullet, haven't you, sometimes? And I think that, you know what it's like. But one thing I love about being a gardener is you're never quite in control. There's always external factors. And so things swing and change, and I think it's important that you have the odd season that isn't to your liking, because you've got to cope with that, you know. Wisdom is born from error, is it not?
That's great, Chris. Thanks very much for your time.
Nice one. Cheers.
On next, I'll come on.
Cheers, thank you. Nice one, fella. Cheers. I'm in the great footsteps of Percy Flower, obviously, because this was his manner, wasn't it? And he wore tweed and I wear jeans and Stone Island, so something's changed, isn't it, really? I'm meant to chat to you today about, this is quite a taxing subject. If someone said, do you want to do a talk? I'd rather be a designer and show you some sexy pictures of gardens at Chelsea, but pest and disease is part of our life, isn't it? And part of how we garden. So the kind of way I approach it, to be honest with you, is it's through personal experience. I will say a little bit about this chap to start with. Lawrence Hills, who set up Garden Organic. I originally, like Percy himself, was a parks trainee and parks gardener, and I learned what I think from the best gardeners you can learn from. There's not many of them left now, but I kind of learned the 5 years through them. And Lawrence Hills was kind of from that sort of era, who a guy you probably walk by in the street and not notice, but was just an incredible gardener behind the scenes, who did a lot of work. He was the kind of guy who sort of brought the scientific side to organic gardening, who did a lot of brilliant work. And the Garden Organic's been interesting, there's 60 years of it now, and there's a whole sort of record of all of that work and all that experience, which is quite important. He also did Bocking 14, the commentary on where am I? On my left. Bocking 14, which I will talk a little bit about in a while, which is one of the most amazing organic fertilisers you'll ever use.
Well, thank you all very much for taking the time out to come and stand, sit, and take part. I always start these things by saying that it's very flattering to be at a show like this where there's so much going on, there's so many activities, so many things to see, great horticulture exhibits, plus everything else and the food and all that sort of stuff. And it's always lovely to feel that you've come into the Marquee just to listen to me and take time from what's going on. So it's a fabulous day outside. The flowers are out, the insects, all that sort of stuff. And what I normally have to say is that I'm very flattered that you've taken the time to sit down on the grounds that I'll tell you a story. My mother, who's very good at just bringing a kind of level to everything and undermining your ego. A few years ago, my mother asked if I would go and do a talk at my local village hall to raise money for the primary school that I went to in Worcestershire. Very small primary school, 3 people in my year at school, which makes getting a football team quite difficult. But anyway, so raising money to put in a wildflower garden and a wildflower pond and that sort of thing. Would I go and do a talk? So I said, yes, that's fine. So everyone kind of came, and there was lots of festivities, and I came and I did my talk, and the hall was packed, and at the end I thought, well, that's quite good. And Mum came along, and she said, how do you think that went? And I said, it's brilliant. Really so gratifying that there are so many gardeners who take time out to come and listen to what I've got to say about gardening. And she said, yeah, but just remember there's nothing on telly on a Friday at lunchtime. So now I can also say, not only is there nothing on telly on a Friday lunchtime, but it's also pouring with rain. And you've got shopping as well. So well, for whatever reason that you're sitting in here, thank you for taking the time.
Right, join me. I'd like to share something with you here. This is a new thing. I've never seen it before, and it might be of interest to some of your viewers. It's a thing called a veggie pod, and it's come all the way from Australia. And I've got the guy here who's running the show. His name Neil.
G'day, Nigel.
How do you do, Neil? How are you?
Very well, my friend. Very well.
Just give us a little chat about what's this thing and what's it all about.
Yeah, so just briefly, we actually started Australia 9 years ago, where we developed our first model. As you can see, it's a self-contained, self-watering raised garden bed. So the reason it's self-watering is because at the bottom we've got a reservoir. The reservoir holds 16 litres of water. There's a wicking bed inside the pod, and that helps wick up the water through a capillary action. Okay, each reservoir holds 16 litres of water. Okay, you're growing from here down to the bottom, which is a foot of growing depth. So we're actually growing all types of vegetables. Okay, our issue is height, and this is the reason. We have a canopy. This canopy comes down and connects. And what it actually does, it provides protection from anything from a cabbage moth to a cat to, in Australia, we have issues of possums and kangaroos.
And it's all natural rain through with it?
Yes, so it's a permeable material, so you can see there's little holes inside, okay? So it'll allow rainwater to come in, it'll allow sunlight to come in, but it will keep away those pests and animals.
What about creating shade? How much light do you lose?
Okay, you only lose 17%.
Okay.
Okay, so you're allowing 83% of the UV to come in,
right.
So you're also going to keep off the harshness of the sun. You know, that direct sun, you're going to keep that off your plants.
I notice in the roof, if you just open it, you got the piping. Explain what that is.
Yeah, so what we also built in, you know, obviously throughout the day you keep this closed. So if there is no rain, okay, what you can actually do is attach a standard hose clip.
Yeah.
Put your hose on there, put a timer on there, and then it will mist from the top.
Okay.
So if you're sowing from seed, obviously they need a lot of water, so you can actually just keep misting down and keep watering, okay? Because the reservoir comes into its own when the roots are obviously established, going down looking for the water.
Right. So is it like capillary matting or something?
Yes. So what we've actually got inside is one of these.
Okay.
So this is our wicking bed. So in the bottom of each is little holes. So once that sits on top or sits into the reservoir, if I can just ask you to come over here, the water will naturally come through those holes. What it also does is keeps the roots directly out of the water.
Okay.
Okay, so you're protecting the roots from the water itself.
Yeah. And this is all like UV stabilised, isn't it?
UV stabilised, certifiably food safe as well. So you are growing organic vegetables. It's not going to degrade and break into your soil.
And what sizes do you do?
So we do 3 different sizes. So just to explain, this is our small version over here. Our small version is 1 metre by 50 centimetres.
Okay.
Okay. If you have 2 of those, you get a medium, which is a 1 square metre, which is the one we have over here. 1 square metre, as you can see. Essentially, if you can just come down here, you can see there's 2 pods.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then our largest version is basically 4 smalls or 2 mediums, which is 2 metres by 1 metre. Okay, they all come with their own canopy, as you can see, with the irrigation system built in. It comes flat packed, easy to assemble. Okay, no special tools, no power tools, nothing. Okay, you can also, because they're weed proof and self-contained, they will quite happily live on the ground. The only requirement is that it's flat, because you've got a drainage. So if there's too much water, it will start to drain away. Okay. You can also raise it to 80 centimetres high with one of our stands.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, galvanised steel, powder coated, okay, it's going to last. And for our smaller versions, for accessibility and manoeuvrability, we've got these big taster wheels as well.
Right.
And frames, so you can actually move these around.
And anybody what's interested, have you got a website at all?
We have a website, so it's www.veggiepod.co.uk.
I'll just put a link at the bottom of that for anybody what's interested.
Thank you.
So thanks very much, Neil.
Thank you,
Nice
Nigel.
to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.